Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome back to a very high level game of StarCraft 2. Today we have herO here in the bottom left as our blue Protoss. Well, on the top right in the red colors we have Cure spawning as always a Terran player over here on Solaris, one of the 9 new maps in the ladder map pool. Cure's sending out a rather fast SCV. As well as getting a gas before his barracks. This is also known as a gas first opener because the first structure that isn't a supply depot is the refinery. So gas first openers with a fast SCV scout, that can usually only mean one thing, and that's going to be an engineering bay block. Now the goal of the engineering bay block is very simple. It is to block your opponent's natural. If you can get a good block up on your opponent's natural, it means your opponent will be forced into taking the third base either over here or over here. herO so far hasn't scouted yet, and this is something that this Protoss player has been doing quite a bit in the last few months. He's just not scouting whatsoever. He'll use a probe to build a cybernetics core, then a nexus, and after building the nexus, he'll check around this base for any types of proxies. This is the standard setup. However, this time he's going to be surprised when he sees a rather quick eBay already. Well, what's 75% done here on the natural. That is going to be an issue because he won't have time to pull workers to kill it. Usually the best response to an eBay block is that you pull 3 to 4 workers and you damage it enough while it is building. However, it is practically done at this point, so if you were to start trying to attack it right now, I'd say there's really no point to that anymore because your nexus would go down at like the 2-minute mark, almost 30 seconds too late, and that's just hugely expensive. Cure gets the scout off with the SCV. Is like, hey, this base is here, that's cool. Leaves the eBay up for a little bit. There's no real need to cancel it quite yet until he has enough money to build his own command center soon with most likely this worker, I would say. Not entirely sure if that is true, but I think it might be true. Yeah, there we go. It's gonna get sent down. At the same time, with a gas first, you have a very fast factory. And I've watched a game between Clem and MaxPax, it was actually. And in Clem versus MaxPax, this exact same opener followed up into a double Cyclone push that seemed extremely difficult to hold. Now, Cure is not opting for that particular Cyclone push. He doesn't say, hey, I want to build 2 Cyclones, move across the map, see what I can do, see what I can do with that. No, he opens up with 2 cars instead. And with these 2 cars, he's going to try to run by either into the main, or he's just going to drive by into the natural base, that's the 3rd location. And it's real hard for Protoss to deal with that. Usually you only need to defend your natural, because your natural is in your natural. Now, because your natural is on your 3rd base location, you need to both defend this area as well as this area. So you basically need double the units, except you can't really get double the units without cutting in your eco significantly. And it seems like herO actually has different plans. He said, hey, a nexus is fun and I could technically use it. In theory I could use it. But I could also just camp in my main base, get 3 gates and blink, and then go for some type of attack here. There's a robotics facility with this as well. So to me right now, it feels like he's pretty much saying this is a fake nexus. He's not even producing workers on it currently. And the real deal is what's happening in the main base. Cure's going to commit to this, which is an interesting move that might even be considered very bad by some people. I'd much rather keep my Hellions alive. If you know there are no workers over here, what really is the point of trying to poke up there and trying to run through it? I don't really think there's much of a point, at least not in my mind. Double Cyclones have been constructed behind this as the 2nd barracks is going up right now. It's 26 workers to 27. Not a single worker has been produced for herO in a very long time. We do have 4 workers now finally mining from this base. So that's going to boost the income just a little bit. It's better to have a 2nd base mining rather than oversaturating the main base, of course. What are these Hellions doing? It's kind of roaming around looking for a proxy gate, which makes sense because they saw 3 gateways in the main base. They're like, well, how are you going to warp in aggressively? You probably need to have a proxy gate. But no, herO's just going to get a prism. And he's playing a 4-gate blink build, which is not weird in and by itself. This is one of the most popular builds in this matchup, but usually it's done with 38 or 39 workers. herO didn't want to build those workers because he didn't want to risk losing them on his 3rd base location, where his natural is located. So it's just a really awkward situation. Very low eco. It's going to hit like a freaking truck. He has 9 stalkers right now. I don't think these 9 stalkers can do anything whatsoever. herO is not gonna... No, he is gonna try here. Snipes 2 cyclones. Loses 5 stalkers, I think it was. This is an absolutely terrible call there. Very frustrating because now he doesn't even have enough stalkers anymore to really clear any tanks on the high ground with a blink in. Uh-oh. This is in range as well as another tank pops out. Zealots now being warped in. Will start fighting. Big blink forward as the tank on the low ground helps out here too. Has 3 kills already. This bad boy has 4 kills. All of those being stalkers. As the Zealots will get taken now. The money is extremely high here for Cure. The gas is fairly low though. He's only working off of a single refinery and it isn't even properly mining at the moment. So the only thing Cure can really build, well, are tanks. And he only has 1 of them right now. Next one needs to start immediately. As he's desperately trying to get more gases in. Yep, another gas gets built, another gas gets built. This tank is moving back. Hasn't quite found the peace of mind yet in which it can easily siege up. This tank in the back is trying to get in position to do something at least, as Marines are being targeted down. Tank moves forward. I feel like herO might try and blink in again. I think that would be a mistake. You want another warp in of units first. You need at least 11 stalkers to one-shot a tank. Don't forget about that. This refinery is going to get blasted. Blinks in forward. Going to put him in a pretty precarious position here. Almost loses a stalker, but stays alive as he kind of runs around here. And a lot of workers. I'd love to just see a couple of probes being built behind this because there's so much damage being dealt already. Ooh, more stalkers. I wouldn't have minded a Zealot warp in here either. Once again, just moving in with the Zealots to tank some of that tank fire. And then blinking on top of stuff. Tends to be a very powerful move. Here comes a blink in, takes out a tank, moves away. Lost a bunch of stalkers in the process though. Only has 10 remaining. Needs to be very careful as the next tank is about to pop on out over here. Oh, that's a juicy target. herO thinks so too, but doesn't quite get it. 5 HP remaining on the tank. As a couple of workers have finally been built for herO. 31 to 31 workers. Of course, I rather would have had him have a couple more even, but he started fairly late. So this is what we're going to have to do it with this right now. There are 2 tanks out. And there's 10 stalkers. I almost feel like this tank is in position. It most definitely is. Kills the observer. Took out 1 stalker there as well. These stalkers feel like they're pretty much stuck here in a corner. These moves were really cool before when there was only 1 tank. But right now there's 3 tanks and the leapfrogging forward is happening at a very rapid pace. Zealot warp in could potentially help out as it does draw a lot of that tank fire. SCV is now being pulled in here. As these stalkers, well, they're either going to be recalled or they'll die. 4 of them can enter the prison, but the other ones will be Kerrigan behind. 39 workers to 32. We have 19 Marines to 5 stalkers. So that's 3 tanks, of course, added into that mix. Stim is a little over 25% done right now. There is an eBay here on the low ground as well, so I'm not really feeling the position that herO is in. Now, if there's one guy that can make a terrible position work, it is herO, at least when it comes to Protoss. I always feel like you kind of have the holy trinity of people that can make comebacks. It's like Maru, Dark, and herO. Like, these guys are so good at coming back into games. They have no business of being in, really. So I'd personally be surprised if herO comes back, but it is possible. I've seen it before, and there's no real logic that you can apply to his playstyle often either. There's 4 stalkers in this prison. As he's on 41 workers, he's building an Immortal, he's adding in gates, he's getting that 3rd base as well as a 4th right now. Now all of this is going to hit so freaking late though. Cure is just in a phenomenal spot. I'm not saying that I would win from this Terran position, but it looks very freaking good for him right now. That's all I will say. It's going up to 8 gates here, herO that is. Charge almost done as well. As his prism is still being rather active with those stalkers looking for some damage. And one of the trademarks of herO's gameplay usually is the complete lack of map vision. Look at this. No pylons whatsoever around. There's no stalkers making sure there's no drops moving out. Like he's very focused on his own army and how his army is going to move across the map at a high pace. And that is exactly what's happening here. These two Immortals are popping off. We get a stim forward. That seems a little bit risky. That might mean that one of these Marauders will die. Yep, there we go. A couple of Marines also fell. Very nice play there. herO shaving off a couple of units for free. Oh. Barely misses the double dropout. That is a pretty big deal. If that had been spotted, maybe some way you can stop it by having a couple of Stalkers ready in the main. There's no energy available currently for a recall, but there will be in a couple of seconds. As these medevacs are going to get taken out, or at least attempted to be taken out, one will fall. Let's take a look at the first person here for herO. Sees the drop entering the main base, instant recalls into the main base, loses 5 workers, both sentries get targeted as well, and I don't think any of these medevacs will fall, no they won't. Third base on the way. And if we take a serious look at the situation as it is right now, I'm having a very difficult time seeing how Cure is going to lose this. Just a very difficult time. He's going up to 5 barracks already. He has a 3rd CC almost done. He's up in workers. The only thing that Cure is missing currently is really just a Ghost Academy. The moment his Ghost Academy starts, finishes, and produces at least 3 Ghosts, I just don't quite see how he's going to lose this. His army is going to be so much better. As this Ghost Academy over here is having an absolute blast as well. +1 armor on the way too. This tank is gonna get taken out in the main base. This is a nice little drop here by herO. Sends in the 3 zealots, gonna do quite a bit of damage. At the same time though, there's a drop over here with 2 mines that also dealt a fair amount of damage. Zealots will stay alive. Drops in the main base still available. I think herO kind of forgot about them. At the same time, we have this moving towards the natural, where loads and loads of workers now are being gunned down by Cure. Mine hit goes into the assimilator, doesn't really kill anything. As the pickup and the redrop into the 3rd base, at the same time the drop in the main, and super battery is going to be activated. That will stop this little attack, but holy crap, Cure with some very nice control, some great decision making there, dropping, picking up. Sick movement out of him. As the ghosts are now being pumped out. Actually, these mineral patches are very low. I feel like Cure is pretty much forced into taking a 3rd base at some point in the future. Now, well, he isn't really forced. He doesn't have to, right? Like, his opponent is on no workers whatsoever. It's 57 to 25. The only way currently that Cure could really lose is if he dies. And I just find it hard to believe that Cure is planning on ever moving out. Like, all he needs to do is wait for 1 or 2 more production cycles, and then he can move out without any issue. Like, even though it's not necessary, he can. And very often in StarCraft 2, if you can, you probably should do it. So he's actually gonna take it now already. This feels like it carries a bit more risk than I would like to see. This is still a pretty big army here. Guardian Shield gonna be used. Zealot's just kind of stuck behind for a second there. Mines are rolling down. Good pickup as these mines do not get the connections they want. The Stalkers weren't quite in the army though. And with the EMPs, with the Ghost, and even with those unsieged tanks, I do believe that Cure is going to take the big fat W over here. And indeed he is 41 supply to 105. And the first game in this best of 3 is going to go to Cure. Up next we're here on Hard Lead. Ooh. herO with a 13 pylon. It's one of these build orders that we don't really see a whole lot anymore. While Cure once again opening up with a quick SCV scout. Or well, not an SCV scout. These guys always have ulterior motives. You know, they say they're just going out for a stroll, and just like that, boom, there's an engineering bay in your natural. That's going out for a stroll, boom, barracks below your ramp. And this is exactly what's going to happen here. This is not an eBay block. It's going to just be straight up a barracks below the ramp of herO. Now, technically, theoretically, this is the best build order defensively for herO. He's getting a 13 pylon. I think this was a 14 gate as well. And he straight up goes into a proxy Stargate from here on out. That's at least what I believe. His first adept is going to be out at a very good timing. It's about 5-6 seconds faster than usual with this particular pylon timing. So I'm not super liking the spot that Cure finds himself in over here. I'm not super liking it at all. Where's his probe going? What the heck? Oh, he might be just I think his plan is to proxy Stargate, but maybe with Void Rays. I was very sure. Wait, what is this? This is an insane position as well. In case it is a Reaper. This is crazy. The Zealot is out right now. We're gonna see a Stargate. Like, the only thing that makes any sense at all to me is a Stargate here. How are you gonna position it over here? No, over here. Okay, well, if it was a Reaper opener, this would be spotted instantly. It is a Reaper opener, except the barracks is on the wrong side of the map over here. Stalker as the first gateway unit after the Zealot. I'm not even entirely sure how good this really is for herO right now, as he loses 2 workers instantly. Reaper does go down here. But 2 workers going down is kind of a big deal. Cure's just gonna scout this spot. Doesn't... oh my god, doesn't quite see it. I do believe this is going to be a Void Ray opener. herO, bringing back an old school build, believes that it has more value now. As he is going to try and chrono this out. Is it perhaps the Tempest follow-up? Or is it just going to be a Void Ray with batteries? I think it's just going to be a Void Ray with batteries. Now don't forget, there's a reason why this build has lost a lot of its popularity. And the main reason is that the batteries only start with half energy. They used to start with 100 energy, but nowadays only with 50 when they're being positioned outside of Nexus range. So this battery is just not going to finish up. This is just a terrible start all around for herO. It's pretty much a free win at this point for Cure. Doesn't have any Marines though, which could be an issue. This bunker has a single Reaper in it. That's about it. Cure wasn't really paying attention there. It's taking a lot of damage on this Cyclone. It's actually going to lose the Cyclone. What a... He literally had one job and he forgot to do the job. That is what we call a pretty decently sized mistake. Cyclone here once again is going to get attacked by the Void Ray. I think the game just ends. I think the game just like that. Oh no. What? There's no way. Yeah, there is an eBay that's being built on the other side of the... on the other side of the map, but this is not quite brilliant. 2 Void Rays are out. There's a Viking here that's now going to get latched onto by these Void Rays. There's no anti-air. There's no Marines. The only thing that's going to come out right now is a Cyclone, but these Void Rays are having a blast. Cyclone tries to rally away, does get latched on immediately here, will die as well. The lower range of the Cyclone definitely not helping out herO. Winning a very unlikely game here on Heartlands. Game number 2 and ties up the series in this best of 3. Alrighty, game number 3 here on Equilibrium. It's also the first game in which Cure has decided to stay at home with all of his SCVs. There's no one on an errand trying to, you know, buy a pack of cigarettes and accidentally building an eBay on the other side of the map, or just getting a carton of milk, finding themselves building a barracks, which then produces 3 Reapers to try and kill some workers as fast as they can. Zealot starts here and finishes, actually. We didn't even see it start. That is an interesting move. It's a move I often don't approve of, these Zealots across the map. I really am not a fan of these Zealots across the map, but herO and MaxSpecs do it, and herO and MaxSpecs are the best PvT players in the world, so... It feels like these guys never achieve much in their entire life. We'll have a look. We'll see what this Zealot is going to achieve. Here is the CC. Well, it won't be done yet by the time it arrives. It is going to be just a very late second unit here. Yeah, a second barracks. That's also interesting. Going to be a Cyclone or a car? Okay, it's going to be a Cyclone. The Cyclone technically is also a car. SCV perhaps in a bit of trouble. Just running around. He was looking down. But command center's not going to finish up quite yet. Did the Zealot get a scout up? No. Not entirely. And I think it would be wise to send another SCV in here. We'll need to wait for the Cyclone until he can properly clear this though. Now the Adept comes in with a scout. Did he get the info on that barracks? Yeah, he did. Well, I'm not sure if he knows that it's a barracks. Yeah, no, he definitely knows. I think he managed to deduce that this is indeed a barracks. The herO is capable of that. As the Cyclone now moves out. Ooh! Bad control here on that Cyclone. It's going to keep every single Adept and Zealot alive as a result. we can just fight this, you know, right? Like, the Cyclone is a powerful unit against Adepts. You can 100% you can just fight this. Like, you're way too afraid here for no real reason. What? Am I the crazy one? Am I actually the crazy one? Second Cyclone is now out. Not with the Stalker. It will be a little bit harder at least. This Adept is going to get taken out. Second Adept immediately gets targeted down as well. I feel like this kind of would have been possible before as well. Now this Zealot in some trouble. These Cyclones are just bursting through. There is no battery behind this, as this is a 4-gate Dark Templar build. I've never seen this in my life either. HarstemCasts on 31 workers. Is building a lot of Stalkers. This looks like a Blink build, but it was meant to be DTs. He's building these Stalkers because he's afraid of dying. See if he can 2-volley these. Yes, he can. That is beautiful. It's the first Cyclone is now going to get taken out. 2 DTs get warped in on a proxy pilot on the other side of the map. The question I have for Cure right now is, how ready is he for this? He's going to have 1 scan available soon. Doesn't have a turret at all. And here come the DTs. At the same time, herO is just... He's giving up some of these Stalkers. Well, actually, he's not even giving them up. He was wanting to give up some Stalkers for these DTs to deal maximum damage, as now they're in. And this DT rush is going to be quite successful, as Cure hasn't even responded to it yet. Now pulls away the workers. There's 2 Marauders in position. This DT could perhaps still run out, as there's no concussive shell. And indeed, it will run out of scan range. So that first scan completely useless. 24 workers to 39. And here comes the counterattack. I think this game is just over. And with this game, the series, honestly, because, well, it's a best of 3, and that is how best of 3s work. If you win 2 maps, then yes, you are the winner. Now, the Cyclone's going to deal quite some damage. Take out 2 of these Stalkers. Third one might fall. No, it will stay alive. GG gets caught. That's going to be it. Wow, what a short little series. What a short little series over here. As a DT rush is going to finish it all up. HarstemCasts saw that game number 1. It was like, oh, that was a semi-macro game. I'll go for a VOIDRAY All in and a 4-gate DT rush, and actually manages to win it. You love to see this level of cheese here at such a high level. I'm very, very keen on that. I'm definitely going to be trying that proxy VOIDRAY again. I thought it was still dead, but honestly, herO has given me hope once more. So I'm gonna definitely try that out myself. I hope you all enjoyed this as well, this little series. If you don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Be sure to check out the KSL Patreon that funds all of these tournaments and gives us the replays. And I'll see all of you next time for a new video. Bye bye.